Tasks aren't achievements. How to flip the script in your resume, your CV. In this Tuesdays at 2, I'm going to deal with one of the biggest career killers hiding in plain sight, and it rattles my cage. Tasks are not achievements. If your resume or your CV is built on tasks, responsibilities, you are diminishing your chances of being hired. The impressions are not experienced, not qualified. So you need to have achievements. In other words, you aren't selling yourself. You are invisible. Most professionals don't fail to get interviews because they lack talent. They fail just simply because their resume, their CV reads like a list of duties. What were they responsible for? What were they assigned? What was in their job description? None of that proves value. So, welcome to episode 256 of Tuesdays at 2. I'm Martin Buckland, a global executive resume and CV writer and a global executive career management practitioner. A task explains activity. And achievement proves impact. Tasks describe presence. Achievements justify pay, progression, and trust. Hiring decisions are not made on responsibilities. They are made on outcomes, results, performance. Let me re-emphasize this. Hiring decisions are not made on responsibilities. They are made on outcomes, results, achievements, accomplishments, whatever you want to call them. So here's what task language sounds like. Responsible for managing a team, oversaw budgets, handle stakeholders, involved in strategy. Big deal. We're not interested in that. That tells me that you were busy, but it tells me nothing about whether you were effective in delivering results, your performance. Decision makers don't have time to interpret your potential. They scan your resume, your CV, and your LinkedIn fast. They judge instantly, and then they move on. If you don't have accomplishments in your resume, you are gone. Your resume, your CV looks like an internal HR document. It will be treated like one. A quick glance, no emotional connection, no excitement, no interview. This problem isn't about intelligence. It's about conditioning yourself to sell yourself. Professionals are taught to be modest. Nothing wrong with being modest or humble. But you are now, when you go into a job search, you are a product and you are selling that product, and you're in a competitive environment, far more competitive today in early 2026 than it was in early 2025. They're rewarded for doing work, not articulating the value of doing it well. So they downplay that impact. They soften the results. They hope someone will read between the lines. Well, they don't have time to do that. They won't. Your resume, your CV has one job. It is not to record your career. It is to earn a conversation, an interview. Nothing more, nothing less. It's pretty simple. So here's the reality. Your resume, your CV is not read carefully. It's scanned initially very quickly. You have seconds to answer 3 silent questions. Can this person operate at the level we need? Can they deliver in our environment? Is there evidence of results, not just responsibilities? Tasks fail all those 3 tests. Achievements pass them instantly. So, how are you going to flip the script? You stop writing what you did many years ago and start showing what changed. Every strong achievement has to answer four things. What problem or opportunity existed? What action you personally took? What outcome followed? What scale or significance it had, with as many metrics as you can get in your resume, your CV. The more metrics you can get in your CV, the better it's going to be for you. So if nothing's changed and remains static, that is not an achievement. So here is a simple example. Before, responsible for managing a sales team across multiple regions. That's a task. That's very basic. Doesn't excite me, won't excite recruiters. So the next one is after. Led a 12-person sales team across 3 regions, driving a 28% revenue increase and reducing churn by 15% within 18 months. Same role, completely different value signal. You are wowing, you are exciting the reader at the other end. So many people panic at this point and say, I don't have numbers. That's rarely true. You can quantify far more than revenue. Some of the metrics are time, the scope, the complexity, the risk, the scale, the reach, the speed. So think along those lines. It's very important. So here's another before. Involved in process improvement initiatives. That's meaningless, a big deal. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in the meat and potatoes. After, redesigned core operational workflows, cutting turnaround time from 5 days to 2, and improving handoffs across 4 departments. Now, I understand your impact. Here is a powerful test. If someone else had done this instead of you, would the outcome likely have been the same? Maybe. If yes, it's probably a task. If no, you're looking at an achievement. Achievements, achievements, achievements. Strong resume CVs show judgment. They show decision making. They show ownership and accountability. Weak resumes, weak CVs show nothing, have zero impact to a reader at the other end. Executives are not hired to comply. They are hired to deliver results, to change things. They are hired to make money. They are hired to streamline floundering operations. They are hired to sharpen the entity's competitive edge. Rewriting your resume, your CV, starts with removing those comfort words. Responsible for. I haven't written those words, responsible for, in a resume or a CV since probably the year 2000, a long time ago. These words protect you from sounding bold. They also erase your value. Every one of you watching today and watching the replay has a value. And the value can be measured, is vastly measured in those results, those accomplishments, those achievements. So instead, ask better questions. Why did this matter? What problem existed before I stepped in? What improved because of my decisions? Then lead with the outcome, not the activity. So here's another before. Managed stakeholder relationships. Flat, safe, forgettable, boring. After. Built senior stakeholder relationships that accelerated approvals and reduced decision bottlenecks by 30%. Which one would you hire? That signals influence. Your job title will not do this work for you. Two people can hold the same title and operate at entirely different levels. Titles don't prove capability. Context does. So Director of Operations is vague. Director of Operations leading a 250-person workforce across 5 sites with full P&L accountability is not vague. That ups the intrigue in you. Under all leadership responsibilities in a resume, a CV, you need to have these metrics to provide some scope. So you always put in brackets underneath the title, number of direct reports, number of indirect reports, your CapEx budget, your OpEx budget, and your P&L. And then if you have responsibilities in different countries or for a number of plants or offices, you put those numbers in there. So specificity builds credibility. This matters even more at the senior executive level where the air is thin. Everyone led teams, everyone attended meetings, everyone set strategy. That is assumed at the very senior executive level. What matters is what was the strategy, at what scale, with what complexity, with what result. Metrics in that result. If your resume, your CV still reads like a job description, you will be assessed like one. Here is the mindset shift that changes everything. You are not documenting your past, your responsibilities. You are selling your future performance based on the previous performance with metrics. Your resume is a business case. You are putting a business case to somebody, not a diary. Every role must answer 3 questions. Why were you hired? What did you fix, build, grow, or transform? Why should someone trust you to do it again at a higher level? If it doesn't answer those questions, you need to rethink. It needs rewriting. Tasks say you showed up. Achievements say you mattered, you performed. Tasks describe employment. Achievements justify progression, promotion. If you want interviews, credibility, and momentum in your career, flip that script. Stop listing what you were told to do. Start showing what changed because you did it, your performance. That is how strong resumes, CVs are written. That is how careers advance and move forward. I'm Martin Buckland, your global executive resume CV writer. Your career is your business, so you need to manage it like a business. Now, if anybody wants a free, no obligation, 30-minute resume critique over Zoom, doesn't matter where you are in the world, I have clients across the world, please send your resume to this address below, and I will contact you to arrange a Zoom that's mutually feasible for both of us time-wise. And I will then go through your resume, your CV, from top to bottom, but I say it as it is because you only get one kick of the can, one chance. First impressions count. Plus, it also has to pass that very sophisticated ATS, applicant tracking system, which is a very difficult task to pass because you can't do things that we used to write in a resume many years ago. So for much more information on all facets of career management, please visit my YouTube channel, Martin Buckland. Press the subscribe button, press the bell button to be notified of all upcoming videos. Thanks for watching today. So what have you learned from this video? What have you learned from this video? Are you now going to rethink how you sell yourself? How you articulate your value? think about those metrics. You need to have a brag book at home. Every time you deliver an accomplishment, you need to jot it down at home, not at work. Have a brag book at home, and then you could, when you come to rewrite your resume, life would be a lot easier. So hopefully you're now going to reframe your mind and your resume and your LinkedIn profile into highlighting more performance, accomplishments, achievements, whatever you want to call it, filled with metrics. Anybody got any questions? Because we're live today. No, it doesn't look like it. So I will sign off, and hopefully you've learned something big today, and you will now change your perspective of writing your resume, your CV. If not, then send it to the address below, and I will arrange to contact you.